in Orax SDI we have the job cards module to help us maintain equipment and repairs. Part and sort of an enhancement is the schedules option. This helps us to do regular maintenance based on a contract, for instance, on equipment that we either sold or that we do have a maintenance contract for. So this means in the field, either our own or our customers' equipment needs regular maintenance, and we need to pre-create or plan these job cards in advance. So the Orax system has this available for us, and the components are a service registry. These are a list of equipment that we do have to maintain, and then we also have to set up schedules. This means that it's a recurring schedule that we will apply to this equipment in the field. Now the service maintenance registry can either be set up on the schedules tab manually by adding a specific system. So in this case I'm going to do a sample 3D printer, and I am going to load a specific serial number because this is one of our customers, or let's assume it's our own 3D printer, and it has to be maintained on a specific schedule. So the start date for this registry entry will be today, and this will be the start of the maintenance contract or the schedule. We can end it at a specific date. If we leave it blank, it will carry on indefinitely. And then we can add a SLA specific contract number and some notes if needed. So the most important components are that we need to link it to a specific item in the inventory. It has to have a serial number to uniquely identify this piece of equipment or system. And finally, we also need to link it to a location, because the system needs to know where this unique item will be when a job card is issued. So once we're happy, we can save this. Now this service registry will also be populated from sales invoices. So if we do sell to a specific customer an equipment that we have a maintenance schedule set up for, it will automatically enroll that equipment into the maintenance job cards schedule. So looking at the schedules again, we now have one item that will that's eligible for our maintenance schedule, but we do not have any schedules in the inventory. So in order to do this, we have to go to this specific item in the inventory and create a schedule for it. Let's go to the inventory and find the specific item. So this is a product in our inventory, and at the bottom we have a service maintenance schedule section. And let's add a schedule. So first of all, we will do an annual major service on this specific printer. It will occur every 12 months, and we will start the counter from month 0. So if we sold this product today, in 1 year's time we want to do this annual service. Currently we can say that this service, let's assume we have a 3-month warranty, or the specific standard service contract is only 3 years. We'll add 36 months when this annual major service will expire. Otherwise, if we leave it 0, it will carry on indefinitely and remind us to do an annual major service on this item every 12 months. In here we can do a service description, and this service description will basically end up on a job card if we create one. Okay, so this is a instruction that will end up on the job card or the reminder, and we can also add checklist items. So in this way we can add a checklist to the job cards that the technicians can check off. We can also tell the system whether notifications to the customer should be sent via SMS or email. And then the internal action for this specific service would be either to create a job card or to just give us a reminder, to create a task in the service desk, or a service call in the service desk, or simply send an email. In this case, I'm going to say let's create a job card for this specific major service. If we're happy, we can save it, and we now have a service schedule for this inventory item that will create job cards every 12 months for each of the items in our registry. If we click on this item again, we have a few extra options that we can do here. We can, for instance, add parts to this service. So let's assume there are standard parts or services that we want to bill for this job card. We can add them to the schedule so that the job card will be pre-populated with those parts, and we will be able to ensure that we do have those parts in stock. I'll click the plus and add a part. I can also add notes to this part. In this case, I'll just pre-populate this job card with one part. I want to add one more service. In this case, it will be a 6-month service. 6 monthly service. So the service will be one annual service, and then in between every annual service, every 6 months, we will have a minor service. So let's add the minor 6 monthly service. This, however, will not be 6 months recurring. It will still be every 12 months, but we will start this rotation 6 months after the start date of the contract, and we also won't expire it. Okay, so in the 6 monthly service, it's basically a checkup and a lubrication service. I've also added some checkpoints for the technicians. I'm going to SMS the customer. So what the external notification is, every time this service comes up, the customer will receive a heads up before we even call them, so that they know that a service is due. And so for the internal action, once again, I will pre-create a job card, which is the most efficient, and then I'll save this. I'm not going to pre-allocate any parts to this 6 monthly service, but I pre-allocated one part to the 12 monthly service. So you'll see both of them recur once a year, but this one 6 months after this one. So if you add those up, it will be after 6 months the first minor service will start. After 0 months or 12 months, the first annual service will start. So that will be a interval of 6 months between services. So now that my inventory schedule is set up, I can go back to the job cards module and click on the schedules tab, and now I can see that I do have a schedule in the inventory for this specific item. So I've got one of these in the registry. If we sell more of them from the sales invoice, as long as there's a serial number and a shipping location, the system will import those records into the registry, and they will immediately become eligible for these maintenance schedules. So below here I can, for instance, check whether I've got parts availability for my upcoming services, and I am now set to have the system pre-create job cards, remind the customer, and ensure that future maintenance based on this schedule is taken care of.